1 year. The 1 year anniversary after the January 6th quote unquote insurrection. The Tim Pool compound has been swatted during a live broadcast of Timcast IRL. Let's read a little bit of this before I talk some more. During a live broadcast of Tim Pool's Timcast IRL on Thursday, police entered the studio after receiving reports that two people had been shot and killed at the address where he records. Someone called the police and said they shot and killed two people and were going to kill more, Tim Pool said on Twitter. Police were told not to enter without a warrant, but they said they didn't need one due to exigent circumstances. This is a large house used as a production studio with many employees on site, Pool added. Timcast IRL producer Lydia Smith confirmed Pool's announcement and said, "Got swatted on air. Good times." I think this is a really interesting situation that actually reminds me of something from my childhood that I'll get into in a little bit. I do believe that this was a political attack, considering that the night before they actually had a guest, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's a sitting member of Congress, who is very much disliked by a lot of people. And I think that's an undue, as I think she's a very intelligent woman who cares about this country and wants politicians to actually do their job. Let's get back to this. So, exigent circumstances. That's a new term for me. From my understanding of it right now, exigent circumstances basically gives police officers the right to enter a home to perform a wellness check and make sure that. So I'm not going to try to define it for you, but I'll say that last night they had to enter the Tim Pool compound to perform a wellness check and make sure that there was, dead bodies or no one threatening to hurt anyone. And they were just making sure that the situation was actually a false flag before they left and, something got actually bad. Exigent circumstances. I think that could be an extremely dangerous loophole that could be abused by both private and public citizens. Because if you can just use exigent circumstances to enter someone's home without permission or without a warrant, it's basically a loophole for us, illegal entering without a warrant and illegal search and seizure, which is exactly what Brandon on the podcast was talking about last night on Tim Pool's podcast. He was saying that if the police officers were to have come into that room and there was illegal substances, on the table or all around the house, that they could now use that as evidence and prosecute, whoever the homeowner is or whoever it was. And I'm having a hard time grappling with that. I'm sorry about clicking with the pen. I got a little ADHD. Sorry. But regardless of that, let's not even think about, the horrific illegal search and seizures and all of that, entering without a warrant. What if they entered to an unsuspecting homeowner who was being swatted, who wasn't aware of what was going on? It's a big house like the Tim Pool compound, very confusing. They've described it many times as like, a maze, and it's hard to get around. People get lost. There's so many rooms, offices, cubicles all around. And what if there was a homeowner? What if this actually, or homeowner, office, whatever it be, it doesn't really matter. What if they were to think that a police officer was breaking and entering with a firearm, considering they've mentioned plenty of times that it's dark in that house? And I mean, shit, if you have a big house, I would be keeping those lights off too. Got to keep that power bill down. So a police officer roaming around in the dark with a handgun in his hand would be pretty scary. I don't know exactly what I would do. I don't know exactly what I would do. But what if there was a homeowner who acted in quote unquote self-defense against a police officer who entered his home under exigent circumstances without a warrant or permission from the homeowner to perform a wellness check on the homeowner or someone else in the home, but it ended up in loss of life, undue loss of life? Would there be an exemption for the homeowner? Would there be there's clearly an exemption for the police officer if they have exigent circumstances to enter. I don't, obviously not an excuse to just kill someone unless there was something actually happening. But what about a homeowner who thought he was acting in self-defense from a burglar or anyone that was just entering their home late at night? Because I think this was around like 9 p.m., 8:30 or somewhere around there. I think 8:51 is the time that they actually entered the room on the podcast, if you wanted to see that. Yeah, so I don't really think I like exigent circumstances because I don't want you coming into my house without my permission or a warrant. I really don't even want you coming in with a warrant because this is my property. So I wish you the best if you do attempt that, though. So now it's time to get to the part where I tell you about my experience when I was younger of the police using exigent circumstances to enter my home. Keep in mind, I was young at the time. I do remember seeing this go down in my house when I think I was anywhere from like 8 to 12 years old. I don't remember the exact year that this happened. But basically, we had an extended family member who was staying in our house, and they had their own bedroom upstairs. And one day, allegedly, they were experiencing a large amount of back pain, like excruciating back pain, and they were yelling for help, but nobody heard them. Nobody here heard them, and nobody would go check on them. I personally don't remember any yelling at all. I can't really speak on the rest of that. Someone else may have. I don't know. But so this family member called the police because they needed help. And so a single female police officer shows up to our door, and they're basically like, is everything okay here? And my mom's like, yeah, everything's, perfectly normal. Like, what's going on? And then this police officer said, is so-and-so here, giving the name of our family member. And this family member is known for being a little dramatic. So my mom immediately knew that this was kind of some BS, and she told the police officer, everything's fine, they're all right. They're just a little dramatic. And, of course, they're in back pain, but, we got them. And the police officer said, well, I'm sorry, but I have to enter to perform a wellness check on this person because they called saying that, they were in need of help from the police, I guess, or medical or whatever it was. So I have, and the police did enter, and they went upstairs with my mom. Sorry. And went to the room, checked on them. They were in and out pretty quick. It was a quick conversation. Nobody was in trouble or anything like that. Basically, it was just like a basic checkup. But I don't know how I feel about that. That's an interesting situation too, where she could have really needed help from the police. Like, what if we were like holding her hostage or something like that? And well, I guess why would we give her a phone if we were holding her hostage? I don't know. A lot of interesting stuff, I guess. Well, I'll leave it there. I'm sounding like Tim Pool now. I'm sorry, guys. This is my first video. I just really had to get my thoughts out there. I'm definitely going to be making more videos. I don't know how often. They won't be... I really don't want to make videos like this commenting on just a lot of stories like this. I'd rather get political stories and actually talk about politicians and what our government is actually trying to do, bills that are being put forth, and all that kind of nonsense that needs to be outed to the public. But anyways, thanks for watching. I will see you guys next time. Later.